Nick, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you coming out here. Dude, I think this is probably one of the interviews that I envisioned for the show. Honestly, dude, I was thinking about this one because, like I was telling you before, a lot of stuff, even just getting my business started, I bounced a lot of great stuff off of you. So I'm stoked to have you here. Let's dive straight into it.
Let's do it.
First question. Do you miss Harambe?
Dude, I think about it sometimes, actually.
Oh my gosh.
For those that don't know, Harambe was a gorilla that died, so we started a awareness campaign and sold shot glasses in college, actually, with Chris was there.
I saw it happen. I took no part in it at all. I remember seeing a message that said, does anyone know someone that has a gorilla suit? And I was like, everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
And this is in our fraternity group chat, which is, So, and then about a week later, I saw it must have been a Snapchat or Instagram story, and I saw a hand.
Yes.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. We ended up getting a gorilla suit. We filmed a video.
Who gave you the suit, dude?
A old family friend named Brian, one of my parents' great friends.
He just had one?
Yeah, he just had one. Yeah, super random. And I happened to be up north at home to pick it up.
That's so
something
funny.
like that. It was crazy.
Dude, if that guy didn't have that gorilla suit, what would have, dude, essentially...
I mean, the video might have been weak. On Kickstarter, the video makes or breaks the campaign, usually, other than the product. And so, I don't know.
Dude, do you think... That's so interesting, dude. Yeah. Do you think that was luck? Or do you think you guys strategically...
That's a good question.
Or do you think you guys just killed that?
Yeah.
Because that's impressive.
So I think it was timing. It was a fad. Think about how many fad products there've been. I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
And so, but also Luke, I think Luke came up with the idea, or no, it was Richie and Bob, and it was just super funny. And because it was so funny, which was take a shot for you because he took one, for us. So I think it just went viral, and that part was just timing and luck. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think about timing a lot too. The other day, I had an idea that I was gonna. You know how everybody was standing the brooms?
Yeah. With the day where it was the gravity.
Yeah. What was I gonna put as the caption? I was gonna say something about your insurance agent standing the. I forgot exactly what I was gonna say, but I was gonna put it with Adelphia, and it's just dude, just timing and jumping on those trends quick. 100%. I think are super.
100%.
I think you have to just recognize them and be a person that can recognize those quick.
Yeah, it also doesn't have to be a product like the dude with the sign memes. You can just whip those out when each fad is going on. I guess.
I've been thinking about that one too. I'm don't overpay on your insurance. Dude, I need to do these.
That'd be money.
I need to do these. So, dude, Nick, we're just deviating. Right off the bat. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are. What was your childhood like, coming from the Bay to LA, and getting the business going, and who you are, where you're at. So.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, my parents ran a business, kids' bouncy houses, the jump houses, my whole life growing up. So I grew up, I learned what hard work was. I saw my dad work super long hours. My mom worked super long hours. Just a lot of blue collar, manual, driving, lifting heavy jumps everywhere.
Right.
So I grew up in Santa Rosa, California, kind of out there in the wine country. And then I moved out, went to school with Chris.
With me.
Yes, a lot of good times.
Right. Yeah. First person.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. And then, sorry, I think I'm talking to and then, got a degree in business. Real quick in school, I don't know what happened, but I remember what happened. So I went to a entrepreneurship club my freshman year.
Really?
And the president at the time just looked at the crowd, and he's just you guys, just for being here, are in the top 1%. And I was like, it made me feel really good. It probably wasn't true, but it made me feel like it. And then I was like, wow, there's this kind of whole world out there of people that are making things happen,
right,
and aren't just going to school and getting their degree. And that's when I think early on freshman year, just everything changed. It changed for me. Yeah,
I didn't know that about you. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you were in Santa Rosa. Your parents entrepreneurs. You saw that growing up. Now you fast forward. You're in college. You go to that, and then So you graduate college, you got your degree, and then you started the business? Or how did that go? Like, what was that transition from like day one graduating to Cleverly?
So I graduated, random story. My mom asked me going to college where I wanted to live when I grow up.
Yeah.
And I just said like,
interesting question.
I said Santa Monica. This
Yeah.
was before college started.
Before college started?
Yes, this is real.
Dang.
And I didn't really think about too much. Fast forward, I was like, man, I got to get all these internships, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Got a bunch and then graduated and I was like, man, I'm kind of back at zero. Got a job in influencer marketing.
Right.
For an agency, which is great. Did that for like 12 months and then that was really it. And then I was doing like cold email all day, like most of the day.
For the company, you were an intern for them and you were doing cold email for them? Or?
Yeah, so I graduated and then I got a full-time job for a year. Started out doing like blog writing.
Right.
But then eventually...
For SEO or what?
Yeah, like for SEO.
Right.
Straight for SEO. Like this was a big strategy for the company. And then I transitioned to doing a lot of like just cold email campaigns. So I would just cold email like CMOs at big consumer goods.
Did those work? I mean, like seriously, does cold email to CEOs work?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I might do it if I need to have like...
Yeah, I think number one, your deals have to be really big or it's probably not worth it. Like at the company I was with, their minimum deals were like 15 to 30 grand for a campaign. So it was cost effective to have someone paid full time to send cold emails.
So if they got even just one deal out of that, it would pay off.
It would pay off.
Oh.
Because the deal was big enough. Because open rates are tough. It's tough to get people on the phone.
Dude,
You're interrupting them. Cold email does work, so I'm not gonna to knock it, but you have to do it really strategically and like personalize a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right because I get some of those.
Yeah,
and it's pretty easy to tell right away. Just like
that
is
one.
Yeah, some of them like get me though. I'm like, I'm already reading it. I'm like, wait, that's not.
I have some hacks.
That'd be dude. Yeah, we should talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got that job. Now you're out of that job. You left, found a better opportunity. You met somebody. What happened? Like, what was the next thing?
Yeah. So long story short, I got connected with this guy who was starting this like LinkedIn marketing agency.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. We got drinks one day. He's like, "Hey, I need help. I've closed a lot of clients.
Yeah.
And I need help starting the business." And so, I jumped from where I was and then joined. It was pretty risky. My parents didn't want me to do it, obviously.
Right.
And then I don't know. We just kind of started the business. This was like a year and a half ago.
Was the name already like? Did he have the name?
It was Cleverly. Yeah.
He already had the name?
I have Cleverly. He had the website.
Oh, cool.
He had like 5 clients, 6 clients, and like
is that not a lot?
I mean, we were charging more back then, so it was like
so more expensive. But
yeah. But it was still like, honestly, we started the business. It was great. Me, this guy Bruce, and then Daniel, and probably for 3-4 months we were just kind of plateauing, not really going anywhere.
Yeah, just
until we kind of figured it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, what did you guys do at that point when you plateaued? How did you scale it? Because Cleverly. What are you guys exactly, and how did you scale that?
It's a great question. So, Cleverly, first of all, is a LinkedIn lead generation company. So we get small business owners. We'll use their LinkedIn account to reach out to like their ideal prospects on LinkedIn.
Right.
And then we are really good at like writing a cold message that actually gets like replies and leads.
Okay.
And so that's basically what we do for companies on
So you help businesses grow through LinkedIn automation. And then you guys got that established, and then how did you, because I know you guys started from that plateau and you started pretty small and now it's a pretty larger company.
Yeah.
How did you do that in a short time too?
Yeah. So like, I mean, we were plateauing, not doing a lot of business, and then something happened where we changed our website and our offer to attract more phone call, like sales calls. We weren't getting on enough. So it was actually pretty simple. We read a book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. It's like super good. It's about how like
interesting
most websites you see say like, we trade on trust and like we're innovative and blah, 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 a bunch of fluff words basically.
Yeah.
And so we're like, our site kind of looked like that. We changed the wording to scale your leads on LinkedIn for $99. We lowered our price and we're like, let's just make our website so attractive.
Cut the BS out.
Yes. And our offer's so cut the BS out, like exactly what we do.
Right.
And there's a couple other things on the website that we did, but we just made it really clear to understand what we do. We'll use your LinkedIn account. We'll send thousands of messages every month from your profile, getting you leads, like very simple. And then since we lowered our price to $99, people were like, wow, this is a no-brainer. I'm gonna call them. And then
for $100, I mean,
for $100,
you get one deal out of that.
Yeah, like it's just like a no-brainer offer on our website. And then all of a sudden, like, I mean, I think the first month we rolled that out last January, we must have got like 30 clients.
Nice.
The issue was we did the math and we were actually losing money on the $99 offer
because you're putting so much time into it.
Yeah, like we were like losing. So anyways, now we charge, it's a way to get them on the phone, then we charge them a setup fee of like $200 to $300. That's where we make our money. And we actually, most people are on like a bigger plan now, which is $297. It's
nice.
like a medium, it's an upsell that we do on the phone.
Right.
But anyways,
once you get them in the door, and then you can potentially make it bigger.
And since we changed the website to where more people that come on the website book calls, now it makes our ad dollars go a lot further.
Why?
If that makes sense. So like
because of SEO or
no. So like we spend in Google Ads, right? So let's say it's $2 a click,
right?
But I pay for 10 clicks. So that's $20.
Sure.
But I have a 1% conversion rate. We might not book any calls, but now our site books it basically like a 13% like conversion rate. So now the more people I send there, the more calls I'm getting. It's more worth it to pay for those ads up front.
Interesting.
Basically. And so now we spend now Google Ads drives most of our booked meetings. Yeah.
Another question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for business owners out there, small business owners use obviously your service, but do you have any other tips for them kind of getting like more business? Why is LinkedIn or social media so important for them? You know?
So, I think so. Here's a game changer. So we have I've had a lot of clients that I've written copy for, and we've tried to figure out like what actually could get someone to reply to like a sales message, basically. Sure. I think the biggest thing you have to start with is like the offer, like what you're selling in a way where you can make it a lot more attractive to get them in the door and upsell them. So like an example, we call it the irresistible offer. I think that's the biggest game changer. So it's like, it's why when you go on like HubSpot.com, they get you with a free trial first. So it's a free trial, then they sell you a $3,000 software. So like, it's like a chocolate shop, like handing out candy or like a like sample in front of the store to get you to come in. Like
another great example, I was told getting the Subway app, you get like a ton of free. I've been eating Subway like every day now because I've been using the app, and I'm just like, dude, they got me. Damn. They got me in the door, and I'm like, I keep thinking about like tuna sandwiches.
Like for some reward system?
Yeah. Those are great,
yes.
By the way. Yeah, those are awesome. You should download the app.
That's like, that right there can apply to B2B, like any business. I'm like certain of it.
Insurance?
So
it's a tough one.
Can I give you an example?
Sure,
Because some crazy stuff. We have a client that sells insurance. I consider kind of a commodity where a lot of people sell it.
Yeah, a ton of people do.
So, like for example, like Kamal's business, the corporate
College
prints,
custom prints,
one of their offers when we ran a campaign for them was like, let me just send you a free box of sample shirts. And he would send to CEOs in LA just like a box of, I'm not sure what him and Kyle put in it, but like whatever old extra t-shirts and some swag. Yeah. That's a much easier sell than...
Who's going to say no to something free?
Exactly. But who's going to say yes to, hey, do you need t-shirts?
No, I don't need t-shirts.
When you're competing against custom ink.
I'll definitely take a free box of t-shirts, but I'm not interested in... But once I have the t-shirt...
Once you are, I bet
so they
you there's
customize,
a time...
They actually made with their logos
I don't think they'll do logos. I think just to give them a feel for like the quality. I don't know how their upsell process works, but I know that now they built goodwill because they got free shirts, and now... Next time I'm sure at some point you'll need jerseys for your soccer team or something. Right. they'll be top of mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang.
And so like I think like timing is the biggest thing. Like you're getting people to. I don't know. There's like a lot here. But.
So you'd say like the biggest tip you'd give is give value up front.
Yes.
And then try to convert it later. Is that it?
Yes, but the offer, like, try super hard to figure out what the irresistible offer is.
Yeah, that's true.
And it has to result in a natural upsell. So like some people overthink it. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be like 3 tips. It has to be usable though. So for example, in insurance, it could be like,
here's like 3 easy tips that you could use to just lower your premium on your car insurance tomorrow.
Yes, by going on this site. The whole point is like they don't have to sign up with you to get it. It's just like, hey, this is free value for you. And then I really like Chris. He did this for me. So
dude, this is tough. I think a lot of insurance agents are out there thinking this and like trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But
you just got to keep hacking at it until you will find it.
Yeah.
Dude, if you keep like testing irresistible offers to where like, wow, people actually want this.
Right.
Then like you'll get it.
But your service makes that process a million times easier because they're not actually going in there sending. Dude, I was telling you, I used to make these messages.
Wow.
Until I started using LinkedIn automation.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's where you guys are extremely valuable.
Yeah, we'll help people with their offer, right? We have a client who sells like printers and printer supplies, and they know it's freaking impossible to sell a printer to a company who already has one.
Right.
So they invite people to their luxury suite at Petco Park in San Diego. That's all they do. They're just like, hey, saw you're in San Diego. Do you want to like go to our luxury suite, like bring a +1? And then they
what's up in the suite?
Just watch a Padres game.
Oh,
yeah, it's literally just to watch a Padres game. But then they know their deal cycles are big enough to where like they're going to build a relationship once they're at the game.
Right.
So like it could be, you can get really creative. It doesn't have to be that expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's crazy.
Like I would say 100% like
genius
figuring that out.
All right. Another question for you, Nick. What's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten for, personal things or business wise?
Best piece of advice?
Is there one in particular you can think of? It doesn't need to be business either. It could be anything.
Yeah. So there's this. I read this in a podcast, or I listened to this in a podcast. It was it's called the 90. The guy was like, what separates someone from being great?
Sure.
And he's like, he called it the 99% or the extra 1%. And the whole concept was that like, it's actually pretty easy to start a business. It's pretty easy to like start rock climbing or surfing, and like, but most people, most stop at 99% when it gets really difficult.
Yep.
And no one really like, it's like the analogy, like the gold of the miner is like right there, but he stopped right before. He stopped right before the diamonds.
Right.
And like, I've seen it play out in my life I think everyone has so many times when you like, for whatever reason, when it looks like you want to give up, but there's like you just keep hacking. I don't know, it's kind of like miracles happen when that happens. So I think the biggest thing is like this guy said, was just like most people stop at when they're 99% and they're 1% more from hitting it. Dude, if you apply that to everything, like you will transcend most people.
Very interesting. Yeah. Dude, the moment you said that, I immediately had the picture of that, the guy hacking. All right, another quick question for you. This is interesting, I think. Do you, and I think this is super valuable for a lot of young people out there, and I've gotten this question from younger people that kind of ask me for advice. Do you think school is important for somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur? Like college, I would say. What's your take on that?
Good question. So, 2 parts. I believe on certain career paths, because being an entrepreneur isn't like as glorious. It's not for everyone also.
It's not.
School makes a lot of sense. Medical, engineering, hospitality. It makes super sense for a lot of our friends in college,
engineers,
and they're crushing it. And so, but in terms of business, I almost attribute like 10% of my success to what I learned in a classroom.
10%?
Yeah, like the rest is probably like the clubs I was in, the drive to start little businesses like cutting hair in Harambe and stuff like that. Like, I would say I learned way more from those things and my parents than books, because marketing, it changes like every year. So like textbooks are outdated.
It could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, TikTok is coming along. Like, next thing you know, TikTok is the new Instagram. Now Instagram dies off. Like, what are we going to do? LinkedIn like disappears. It could be completely different tomorrow.
Totally. And like, I also believe, this is not a knock on teachers, but like in marketing and sales, like I attribute and I listen to podcasts and books of people who have sold millions and millions and millions of units. Those are my teachers.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
How am I going to trust someone who's like, if they've had a ton of practical real world experience, then absolutely.
And they're just doing it out of like their kindness.
And there's teachers that have that. Yeah, absolutely. So, but for business, marketing, and sales, go to school, but like you got to be learning elsewhere.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nick, what is another question for you? What is your kind of ideal future or lifestyle that you're looking to have or grow or that you're putting together now, that one day you see and you're going to be like, that's exactly what I wanted this whole time. That's what I had in my vision.
Dang. So long term, like there's a couple things that fulfill me. One is like, I did like a Philippines trip in high school for like I went to Catholic school.
Right.
And we helped build a basketball court for orphans, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Long story short, like, I was in high school, but like when we finished, the kids ran out to the court and they were all like smiling and like bawling for like 2 hours straight. Like they loved it. That feeling when like you give and you feel the need is like not fake. Like it feels so good. And so I think long term it is the nonprofit route. Yeah. I think it's specifically dealing with kids that are like underprivileged. Like I think I had a pretty good upbringing, like played sports. My parents were very supportive. I think a lot of kids don't have that. And so like long term, I want to have enough money through my career to like be able to spend a lot of time doing like nonprofit work.
Or using that money to give to them.
Or just using the money to give to them. So I think like right now it's work as hard as I can to where like later in life, that's a big part of my life. And then like I want a family and I don't want it to be work all the time. Like I want to have probably a lot of real estate, things like that. So I can just fund like the fulfillment side and like other areas.
So there's like that. You're trying to find that kind of balance between the two. What would you say is like your big question that you, when you wake up in the morning, like is there one question that you like ask yourself or you're constantly trying to fulfill when in your career in your life? Like is there one thing?
Big question. I like that. That's a good question.
So now you ask me. I'm just kidding.
Like what's your big question?
Me?
Yeah.
For me, my big question is finding also kind of a balance, being able to look back at my life and just say, I do not regret anything that I did. I did exactly what I wanted to do. And so that when I say balance, I'm trying to find that middle ground between like, should I have my head down all day, grinding and bail on my friends and not go on that trip with my friends. I'm trying to find, that's my question every day. It's like, where is that middle ground where like, I'm enjoying my 20s, I'm enjoying my young life. Meanwhile, I'm still, it's matching my ambition, essentially. That's kind of my big question.
Dang, that's a big question.
And I think it's a lot of people out there maybe are just not putting it into words, but I think
most people have that.
The same question.
Most people have thought through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's a daily battle.
Yeah. Do you have something like similar, or do you think like along those lines?
Yeah. So I guess my big question is like, how can I be a little bit like more happy in every situation? Yeah. Like, because I've learned through life, and I'm sure you have too, like there's swings.
For
like
sure.
Sometimes you're up, and then you're, something happens. But I've gone through enough swings where like now the down isn't that much down, the highs aren't that much high.
Right.
So I think it's like, how can you recognize you're in a down trough and like still have the same happiness is like close to like a high trough.
Right.
So, and I think like
I love that, yeah.
little and then just like gratitude stuff. Like sometimes it's just a normal day, but how can I just find more happiness in everything and gratitude in everything? So I think like people who've hacked that, like money isn't a big deal. Like,
right.
Like when like hardship hits hard, like it's not a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Like some people just have hacked their mind to like, I guess I guess it's a mindset.
Yeah. So that goes kind of, that leads really well into the next question I was going to ask you is kind of what do you do to work on that? Like, do you consciously do stuff to kind of how you said, like hack? Yeah. I personally think those people that are, you know, fulfilled and happy and they're working to have their mindset operate in that way. They're not, it's not they're just like gifted. Some people are gifted. Some people have better, you know, DNA in their mind, in their mindsets. But I think a lot of those successful people are working hard on doing that. So do you do anything, like do you meditate, do you like run, or like what's your like stuff that you do?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I tried the Calm app, the meditation app.
Yeah, that's great.
It's helped me through, I use it in like really like hard times of business, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is really helpful. I don't do it sustainably, but then I guess this isn't me, but so I ran a half marathon like 2 weekends ago.
I saw that.
But
that was
like,
awesome, dude.
I got it from a buddy named Christian Islas. I don't know if you ever met him.
I think I know.
Yeah. He like he was just telling me about like, because I've always enjoyed running, but he's like, yo, when you run a half marathon, it's 13.2 miles.
Wow.
The beginning is easy, you know, the first 5 miles, 6 miles.
You're feeling good.
And then the back half, I'm like, man, how do I, like, do I have to do a bunch of squats? Like, what do I got to do to get my legs right? He's like, it's a mindset.
It's mind.
So he's like, your mind through the last half is going to be a bunch of battles of what hurts more and what's real pain and what's not real pain.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, that's mental training at its most clear state, like
physically.
Totally.
Because you're pushing your body, dude. Yeah. That's why I'm telling you about this book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Read that book. It's all about like pushing through physical barriers that the mind tries to stop.
And it's not even physical.
No. Your mind's going to try to lie to you and tell you like, you know, make up, like for me, for example, I'll go to the gym, I'll hit like, you know, I'll be working out chest, and the littlest things, like it'll be like, oh, that's an even number, so stop there. Like my mind will just start telling me like,
totally,
you know,
100%.
Like, oh, you worked out yesterday or like 2 days ago and like you did chest, so like you should be fine. Like your mind will just start, you know, telling you all these little stories that it'll try to convince you like, oh, I'm good.
Doesn't surprise me at
all. Dude, David Goggins, crazy guy. He has the world record for most pull-ups, I believe. I think he probably still holds it. I think he did pull-ups for 18 hours straight on a bar, hanging on a bar. Yeah, for 18 hours straight. I think he did like 4,000 something. His hands were like torn up and like bloody. It's all in your head, dude. It's crazy. He even talks about like being cold. Like being cold isn't like, I mean, obviously your body is cold, but like being cold is all in your head.
Should we just turn up the AC?
Yeah, we should just freezing you, dude.
We should just go through it. No, that's crazy. No, 100%. Like I was like, I wanted to give up, you know, mile 7, 8, like.
What was your mind saying? Like, did you just like have certain stuff you remember?
I was like, yo, your leg is gonna, like, your leg hurts really bad. Like, your knees, like, are, like, shocking. I'm like.
You're gonna not be able to walk well when you're old. Like,
like, you know, little stuff like that. Your feet hurt, whatever. But then I'm like, and then there's some random quote I read that, like, you always have an extra 30% when you think you have no percent. So I was like, oh, well, I only have 2 miles left. Like, little mind hacks that I kept on rewiring, like after pain, rewire to say this.
Yeah.
And then, like,
dude, he talks about that. It's called like the governor. And like
really?
In a car, you know the governor in a car?
Yeah, totally.
Where you basically hit 100 miles an hour and they set it so that you don't hit the one. It actually can go to 160. Yeah. But they set the car so that it will never go past 120 or whatever. Yeah. You basically just have to push through that. And it's like this is what he also says. When you're like completely exhausted doing pull-ups, for example, that's only 60% of your actual energy. When you're like, dude, I can't do one more.
You have 40% more.
You have 40% more.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like if somebody,
it's probably true.
The adrenaline of like somebody had like a gun to like your like loved one's head and said you have to do 10 more. Right. You're gonna figure out how to make those 10 more. Right. Like it's gonna come out, dude. Totally. You're gonna make those 10. Like it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And that's where the real strength builds. Right. That's the 1% or the 40%. Well, like
there's another book kind of similar. It's called like 340 Degrees. It's essentially I think I remember Tim, Apostle.
Yeah, Tim. Yeah.
Tim, he's the one who actually said this once. It's a book called 345 degrees or something. At I don't know exactly the number, but 346 is the number degree that water starts to boil. So at 344, it's not boiling. At 345, it is boiling.
Right.
So it's that one extra degree that makes all the difference.
That makes it boil. Right. That's a good like analogy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nick, do you have any other like work-life balance stuff that you do? Just kind of like when you, I mean, do you have fun other than like working at Cleverly? Like, do you do anything else outside?
That's interesting. I think I'm lucky and fortunate enough to like actually enjoy my job.
Yeah.
So, there's many reasons for that. I like the people I work with. So that work doesn't feel as much like work to me as it did when I worked other jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky there. Outside of work, I don't believe there's like work-life balance necessarily, to be honest. And
it doesn't exist?
Yeah, well, I think like you have to put in extra work now so that you can have more balance later than the average person. Yeah. So I'm totally woke to that, and it's not even a big deal. But I've been trying to say yes more than no now. Like when friends ask me not to go out and get drinks, but like I've surrounded myself with people who like to run the half marathon or go hike, like go bike, whatever.
Nice.
So I think number one, I just have surrounded myself by different people, and then I'm trying to say yes more to them because I don't know. My mom put it in perspective for me. She's just like, don't let yourself like step outside and look at who you're really becoming, because I don't want to become that guy that's just like work. So I was like, you're right, Mom.
Right. Dude, we're also young. We got to enjoy these times, because we're going to look back one day and be like, dude, I was like 24, 25, and I didn't go out at all. It's a give and take. It's kind of like what I was talking about with that balance that I'm trying to figure out constantly.
Right. Going out's interesting. It's a little bit different. Like, going out, I don't like it because then the next day I'm not as productive. Yep. So it's like, well, can I still have fun and it just isn't involve like heavy liquor, Right. So I think there's other hacks to fun that don't like keep you productive the next day.
Right. Yeah. Do you have a favorite entrepreneur that you can think of that like you model or like have learned a lot from, that you would say is like your top one or two maybe?
Yeah. Early in my life, I studied like Richard Branson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember you always used to talk about it.
Yeah, he's always like, there's a couple things I love about Richard Branson. One is that he doesn't come from a technical background, which I always felt like was a crutch for me because I don't know how to code. Right. So he was just like a dude. He
didn't, or he did?
No, he didn't. He did not. So I resonated with him more. Like he started a record label early on, and then started the airlines. Now he owns all the Virgin brands. But like,
that's crazy.
Like I just loved. I'm also a big marketer, and he was like big on like crazy marketing stunts to market like Virgin. It's a very like sexy brand. Like he just kind of is breaking through the noise, and I just really like respected him. And I don't know. What advice would you have to somebody who like looks up to you or would ask you and they're considering starting up a business or don't know like where to start? Do you have any advice for somebody day one? I want to be a business owner, entrepreneur. Yes, I think the first thing you have to understand is like you gotta sell. Like a lot of people. I read a book on small businesses, and it's just like people who are great practitioners, like great coders, great builders, try to start their own business, and then they kind of get hit in the mouth because like now you gotta like market, sell, business development. Like it's way different. So I would say figure out a way to come up with an irresistible offer or a way to like at least get conversations started towards your product. Like try to sell it before like you go out and build marketing and stuff like that and spend all this money. Like sales almost comes before marketing. Like what is your offer that's going to get people to like really engage? Like I would like it's got to start there, or else it's going to be a really uphill battle.
At the end of the day, sales is everything, not everything in life, but like it transcends business too. Right. In life, like personally, you want to get your friends all rounded up and go on a trip.
Yeah.
You need to like present that in like a cool way. You can't just be like, hey, like guys, we're going. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta. I think you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
Being able to sell is huge.
Yeah. Some people have it naturally. You know?
Yeah.
But also, I don't think people overthink it. I think there's a negative stigma sometimes with sales too.
Oh, definitely.
You hack your mind. It really is like helping someone.
Yeah.
As long as you don't sell them a product they don't need, that's when you cross the line. But like,
For sure.
if they could really benefit from what you have to sell, then like it's actually in my opinion, it's your duty to sell it to them.
100%.
So like, I think people just like hack your mind like that.
I think the biggest thing, just to touch on what you just said.
Yeah.
The biggest sale you'll ever have to make is to yourself.
Yes.
You need to sell yourself first.
Yeah.
And fully, because then that allows you to go in there and just, actually present your product. You have to have that full confidence and trust in what you're doing and what you're selling. If you don't have that, they're going to sense that. They're going to, or maybe not, but
yeah.
If you don't believe in your own thing, then dude,
it comes
out. What are you doing?
Yeah, it comes out.
Yeah, you gotta sell yourself.
Yeah.
Nick, do you have one quote that you live by? Like one that's just, the go-to quote in your life, or something that you feel like is important to you?
I wouldn't say I have one that's like written in stone that I keep coming back to, but because they change. But I read a book like last year, it's called "As a Man Thinketh," and
As a Man Thinketh.
It's a good one. It's a short read. It's good.
It.
It's like the quote is, "Thoughts become habit, and habit becomes circumstance." And so it was just like the little happiness things. Like it's like everything that's like manifested who I am, who you are today, is from thoughts that you had like 4 years ago.
Crazy.
And habits that became those thoughts. So it's like super, dude, they're like lethal, or they're like your best friend. Your thoughts are.
Yeah.
Because like, you let yourself tell yourself too many times that you already did chest day and whatever limitations, a lot of limitations that you set. It's a downward spiral.
And they're subconscious, would you say? Because like, for example, the Santa Monica thing with you. You said you were going to live in Santa Monica a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then throughout college, so many things could have happened.
Right.
But you somehow still ended up there.
Dude, the universe conspires. I think you know that quote.
Which one?
The universe conspires. When you want something really badly, like the universe makes it happen.
Yeah.
I really am not spiritual or up in right field with these sayings, but like, I've been writing every year. I write my goals down. Yeah. And I have it on a Google sheet every year since like literally freshman year of college. 50% or more of the things I write down have always came true. Not all of them, but like it's kind of a miracle. Like
it's weird.
Wrote down like I had no job. I was like, I want a dope internship. I was just like, I just want a dope internship. And then like the last month of school, like I got DreamWorks like animation. I was way underqualified for it. Yeah. But like just like random things like that, just like it's insane, dude. Like crazy.
Write your stuff down.
For real.
Write stuff down, because then it doesn't exist. If it's just in your head, if you're putting it on a piece of paper, it's a physical thing that exists, and you could always come back to it. And dude,
huge, bro. Huge. And then share it with others. Yeah. I read a study that like you're more committed, you're more likely to do something the more people you tell and more public you make it. Really? Because then you don't want them thinking that you're not like a man of your word.
Right. I think that even goes back to when, like, before we even started, you said, like, I'm just glad you went through with all this and you didn't stop and didn't give up. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'm
really, like, proud for you doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Dude, I'm proud of you too, man. Like, I've been looking up to a lot of the stuff you've been doing for a while. So, thanks, man. But, dude, part of that is, like, I put myself on, blast on every social media. And everybody know, like, my parents' friends, like, random people that I used to know in third grade. Yeah. Like, their parents, like, talk to my parents, say like, oh wow, like Chris is whatever, but I put myself on blast. I was like, all right, now the whole world, basically everyone I possibly know is gonna know if this thing fails. Put yourself on blast with people. Well, not necessarily, you don't have to, but I think you're right. Putting it in front of other people and committing to it keeps you accountable.
I think you're in the 40% of the workout right now, or
you think
the
so?
1%. You're in the midst. Maybe. I mean, you've already made it, but like most people would have stopped at year one. And you're still running it. I do. Obviously we both have like a long ways to go.
Oh, for sure.
But like, that's why most people stop early, bro. Yeah. So I respect it a lot.
Dude, thank you, Nick. Yeah. I appreciate you coming out here, man. That's a wrap for today. But I'm sure we'll have more conversations, and I'll see you at the top of the business game.
I'll see you there.
Dude. Yeah, I'll see you there, man.
Cool.
Sweet,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Great stuff.